Welcome to Lucky Talk That Talk. Guys, welcome back to Lucky Talk That Talk. We speak of everything and anything. Let me talk my shit. Clock that. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also, just want to give a big thank you for everyone that has been supporting me so far. I really do truly appreciate it, right? Yeah. And this will be our first episode of Lucky Talk That Talk, and we'll be speaking of self growth, self love, healing, and understanding the cycle of life. So let's start everything with just a personal experience as to why I say I want to speak on self growth, self love, healing, and understanding the cycle of life. In my teenage years, I was reckless. I didn't care. I was self destructive to myself and to others, but mostly to myself. Right? I I live for the plot. I live for the moment. I live for the thrill. I lived in my flesh. Yeah. I didn't care about like, hey, Anna, hey, let's, let's try to understand yourself. Let's try to understand your emotions. Let's try to, have a different view of life. I didn't care for it. It was there, but I didn't take the time out to understand what was going on. And as I said, I was very self-destructive. How I was self-destructive? Drinking, smoking, painkillers, and stuff like that. Drinking cough syrup, all of them somewhere. I was for it. I was all in that little mix. The funny thing is that I wasn't like some of them I was around friends, but most of them it was just like me with myself because it ended up reaching a point where when I tell you I was afraid to come out of the house, I was afraid to come out of the house, I was afraid to like be around people, just to go outside. It was like an issue just to be like talking to others was like a big problem. And it's funny because I would become like very nonverbal. I was just like point to things. And my mother, for some strange reason, always knew what I wanted when I just never wanted to talk. And she was like, "Oh, this is what you want." Be better big pitney. Me a big pitney. I'm in high school, left high school, reach out college. That's the type of behavior I was like on. Yeah, madness. But anyways, but I felt as if, you know, I needed to wake up, and the moment I did, awaken is like I realized that I was very self-destructive. I started to like change what I was doing, how I was living my life, the things where I think was just normal, but it wasn't normal. The behaviors that I have, so like the bad habits, I'm still even now managing like certain bad habits that I do have, but back then it was like when I say a lot. It was out of this world, right? And because I see myself in such a dark light, like I was in the darkest room without any light. But the only way I was able to like truly find light is finding back myself, finding who I am. And that's how I was able to like get out of that and to like change my view, strip myself of my belief system, starting to now pour into me more than anything. And also now setting boundaries, having values, standing on integrity. Is it integrity? I'm gonna stand on that heavily. You get me? Not considering myself, considering other people, forgiving, releasing anything, not holding anyone to any resentment, nothing. Like you can come into my life right now and do me like shit, and I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to even have you with my heart. I don't have the time nor the capacity to deal with you or to have you up because you're not worth it, you know? I don't think anybody's worth losing myself for. When I say no one, I mean no one. Not even me. I will never lose myself for myself. No, I have to find a way to like rock back, fix that. You get me? So I feel like self growth, self love, healing, it is a part of life, and it's all of those stuff is a continuous journey. You get me? Stepping out of the victim mindset is a journey because we tend to blame others for how we reacted when sometimes we need to look into ourselves. Hey, look into yourself. Stop blaming people and look into yourself. Self growth. I feel as if self growth is a continuous journey of just evolving, learning, w- learning to grow in abundance, learning to not hold yourself captive. You get me? And I would say self love is loving yourself without condition, being able to look at oneself and say, this is who I am, and I present myself anyway. And if you are not willing to accept me, that is okay. Because the amount of love I have for myself is the right amount of love I need to function in this life. You get me? So it's able to just love yourself without casting judgment, without seeking validation, without looking for outside views on who you are. You get me? Healing is the unmasked of everything that you have went through, every trauma, every hurt, everything. Healing is where you're learning to not only forgive others but forgiving yourself, apologizing to yourself, letting your inner child know that I am sorry for how I've treated you. I'm sorry for putting you in that situation. I am sorry for how they have done what they have done to you. It's all about apologizing, releasing, finding, accepting. You see, acceptance is a hell of a thing, right? Accepting, evolving, letting it be known that what you have done to me, I will not do unto others, nor do unto myself. You get me? And understanding the cycle of life is to know that we are given a particular lesson over and over until we're able to grow and learn from it. Right? So, cycle of life is the mirroring, is basically mirroring your own experience by each person that you have come in contact with. Everyone that you have met on this earth is a mirror of you. Is either your past self, your present, or your future. Everyone that you have met is either a mirror, is a reflection of your past self, your present, and your future. Let me tell you again, everyone that you have met. Oh no, just sit down. Just literally sit and look at every person that has come and say, yeah, like, you're close to them, and see how much they mirror you. They reflect your behavior. Yeah. And you will see, like, I am speaking facts here. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that we have to grow as individuals, not just to grow to receive the physical part of it, but to receive the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental part of it. And when I say physical, meaning that the the society that we live in right now, the world, what they portray as self growth is always receiving materialistic stuff. You get me? So new clothes, you change your style of fashion, that is self growth and all them somebody. When you can do that, but how are you changing your appearance, but then you still have a ugly heart? You're still crying yourself to sleep at night just because you're not able to do the inner work. That makes no sense. Like, that makes no sense. Then that just means that you're putting on a mask and presenting yourself to people as if you're everything is good when it's not. Like, putting on a mask to present yourself to others does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. It doesn't help to shape you. It doesn't help to. No. All you're doing is losing yourself. You're just losing yourself. You're losing grasp of who you are or who you were, right? So to grow to do self growth, self love, healing, we have to understand that everything starts from our childhood. We have to go back to the inner child. We have to seek to find the divine of who we are. And in finding the inner child is sitting still in solitude, is knowing that it is time for me to seek myself. It is time for me to look beyond the lens, to look further within, and to know that there is things need to be done. You get me? Because we have a tendency of self-sabotaging things for us, not knowing as to why. But then if we look deep within, we realize that it has started from we were a child, from like the things that we heard, the things that we believed, which would come along to your belief system. You have to strip yourself from your belief system to be able to grow in abundance, to be able to grow and spread your wings. We're not able to spread our wings enough because we some of it got kind of go up in like a cabin about mentality type of thing. Or just like the people that are around us. You get me? It's like a cabin about buried mentality everybody have. Is it me? But I have to always find a way for like get out, to be honest. And I feel like the best way of getting out is to remove yourself. You have to remove yourself. You have to strip yourself of everything that you know. So I know going to party. I know, hey, let's go banana spliff. I know, hey, let's go drink. No, you have to just stop. There's a time and place. Like, there's going to be a time where you have to stop because you have to find a balance first before you can go back to like doing any of those stuff. And I feel like even with doing those stuff, I don't think it's necessary. We just want to really truly align yourself on a big man meds or just finding who you are. Certain things that you used to be, it's not going to, it doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't feel, you don't feel the need to do any of that. You don't see where doing that serves you anymore. It's more of like, okay, I don't need to do that. So let's now find other things. You get me? So when you finally sit with yourself, you finally be able to like sit in solitude, understand who you are, go back to the inner child, and learn a lot of things. See how your behavior now can affect you in the future. You get me? I can say, so when I get emotional, and this only like people that I have close to my heart, when they do something to me and I get emotional, listen, I get very disrespectful and my mouth becomes very like a feather, light. I get very aggressive and I am filled with anger And then I end up realizing that the reason why I'm like that is because I don't want you to leave, but you're hurting my feelings. But anyways, this is a segment of Lucky Talk That Talk, and it's called Lucky Tunes That Talk. And this is where I will be letting y'all any songs in my playlist that I love and I like to listen to. I'll be sharing it with y'all. If you guys have songs that you guys want to put me on to, share, please. I'm always open to receive new songs and to learn new songs, any new artists, anything. So I will be sharing albums, EPs, singles, all of that of any artist I have interest in, because I feel like y'all don't really be knowing anybody. Let's see. This week is going to be Issues Interlude by KW. And you guys need to check her out because that is my girl and that is my song. No, you pull up in the run the money red. I don't care how much. Is it love or is it loss? I get it, it's scared of love. Don't you? After my favorite part here. Come upon the need your lover. Yeah, yeah. I don't need your love, sad baby. Tell you when you're ready tonight. Tonight. Oh, tell them. So what's up with it? No, you missing it. I say I miss it. Say you about to be there, you should be. Always react in certain ways, which is being ignorant, getting loud, cursing bad words, um, being very disrespectful. We don't have to always act in that manner, but it's more of just retracking yourself, understanding that, hey, I cannot give you this energy anymore. And giving you this energy, it's not serving for me, you're not deserving of this type of energy. But there will be times you have to cuss out somebody just for letting you know, because your throat chakra will need you to cuss them out. Pure point blank. But let's go back to it. You get me? And sometimes it's for us to learn how to communicate without being ignorant, without being in a bliss. You understand? It's all about knowing, hey, I don't need to be talking to you like this. Not because you hurt my feelings means that I need to go into defense mode all the time. But the reason why we're in defense mode is because we don't do the inner work. So I always feel like it's an attack onto us the moment somebody does anything that we don't see right or we are not in acceptance of. You get me? It's like, all right, cool. I need to attack you because you just attacked me. When truth and in fact, sometimes the person really don't know, so them actually hurt you. Even if you do tell them, they might just still feel like say them not hurt you. And that's just madness. And when you reach the stage of just going back and realizing, hey, I am now at a space where I know who I am, I know myself, and I know that I am going to have to be understanding and also forgiving and not holding anyone within my realm and just letting go, right? In the sense of doing that, you will then realize that some people are just really out here trying to just survive. And when I say survive, I mean survive. I'm not gonna say you're not have people who are corrupt like them wicked, but then you have some people who are like they are good people. It's just that they don't know how to survive with without doing certain things because that's just what they're used to. which is their belief system. They feel this is how they have to behave and act because they don't know any better. They don't know any different. They weren't introduced to nothing different because this is what they them see when them a grow up. This is how them leave what from them a little pitney come up. You get me? So when I said to you, say you have to go back to the inner child, you have to go back to the inner child, you have to try to redirect your mind, reprogram your mind to have a wider understanding of life itself, on the human experience, on the spiritual realm and the physical realm, because anything what I'm up on the physical, I'm in the spiritual, I'm a third for telling you. Is it me? So when I tell you, you have to go back to the inner child, because going back to the inner child is relearning everything, is to go back and to understand and to say, why did I behave the way I behave as a child? You get me? Why am I behaving this way now? You know what I mean? Why is it that I'm all for people but no one is for me? You understand? And when I say all for people, I mean like people pleasing. Some people are just people pleaser. They cannot help it and they don't see anything wrong with it. And no matter how much they tell themselves like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore, they just still continue to do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm a friend. I just want one time, and one time becomes like 100 million. Oh my god. So 101, you get me? So when it comes down to going back to your childhood, going back to who you were, going into the dark room, getting uncomfortable because stuff, the self growth, self love, healing, and understanding the cycle of life, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to be able to sit in the discomfort until you have learned your lesson. If you're not able to sit in the discomfort, then what? Nothing. You just get comfortable with who you are and then just say, as somebody stay, as someone stay. No, that's not how you are. You just believe it because you submit to that. You submit yourself to believing this is how I am. This is how I need to behave. This is how I need to be in this life. Again, that's what you believe you needed to do as a child. So you're now an adult doing the same thing that you used to do as a child because you saw the adults doing it as a child. Get the hell out of my face. Them behavior there, certain things want to walk with, certain things want to hold on to. Release on yourself from it. Release it, release it, release it, release it, release it. Don't hold on to it because it serves no purpose. It does nothing for you. You get me? When I say it does nothing for you, it does nothing for you. You limit yourself of the knowledge to grow. You limit yourself to wisdom. If you're not able to go back to the inner child, if you're not able to go back to who you were, you limit yourself to everything. You get me? And when I say you limit yourself, you limit yourself. You submit to what you know. No, you don't need to. You need to submit to the unknown. It's the unknown. The unknown is where you're like, this is new. This is different. The unknown is where the weirdos are, the freaks are, the mad people them there. The unknown. And you need to forget the unknown. I think everybody need to forget mad, not actually what mad. Because I feel as if we have such a we tend to normalize so much stuff in the fucking society. It is nerve wracking. When I tell you nerve wracking to see it and to see how much things didn't normalize. Anyways, right. So going back to the inner child is so it is beyond what I can explain for y'all to really understand, to be honest. And to loving yourself, you have to love yourself to love others. You have to seek to do everything that you would have done for somebody onto yourself. You have to love yourself. So self-love is essential. You cannot leave self-love, because if you're not able to love yourself, if you're not able to put value on yourself, the universe cannot do that for you. So if you're operating in a low vibration, you will get low vibration things. Like when I say low vibration, you get low vibration things, right? But then because you do not know what is high vibration, what is high frequency, to get reward in a high frequency from the universe, you now think your low vibration, your low frequency, and what the universe is giving you is high frequency. It's when you come out of that um frequency and going to like a higher frequency, it is different. It is where the universe can literally box in your face and you just say, okay, cool, thanks for the box. All right, and what else? It is where like you don't blame anything on anybody, not even yourself. You just be like, wow, I never really know why this is happening, but I guess I'm part of the plan. And thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this vessel. And thank you for this experience. This is like operating and understanding, because to even operate in a high frequency, everything comes back to the inner child. Everything comes back to the inner child. So if you were like self-sabotaging, if you struggled with, being neglect, if you are an anxious type of person, you have anxiety, go back. Inner child, go back to the baby, go back. And the reason why I say go back, because everything starts from your childhood. You know, as an adult, it's the functioning child is the adult. Whatever the child went through, the child is you now. Not because you're 22, 21, 20, means that there is a new spirit within your consciousness. No, it's the same spirit from your child, which is your inner child. And if you're not able to go back there, then you just shape everything that you know and everything that you have been doing now as an adult, which is the behaviors of the inner child. You shape it into your perfect world. You get me? Which is very dysfunctional. But what? We think it is normal because we are not seeking to know different. We're not seeking to go beyond the lens and the rays of ourselves. You get me? So yeah. Uh so it's all about loving unto ourselves, healing and forgiving. You get me? Those who have hurt you in the past, forgive them. But to forgive them, you have to forgive yourself. And to forgive them, you have to release them from your heart. Understand and try to analyze as to why they do it. Sometimes when it good to get closure, it good to get closure, because I think it do help for you to understand that, you know what, you're not a sense overall, and I'm not going to waste my time onto why you did this to me. And thank you for the little closure, but I just needed to hear your side, and your side still doesn't make any sense. So goodbye. You get me? It's good to apologize, because I'm not going to tell a lie. So everybody that I've hurt, I think I apologize to everybody. If I've never apologized to you, let me know. If I hurt you and I've never apologized to you, let me know. And please let me know how I hurt you. Please, because my brain ain't that good. So yeah. Next thing, the cycle of life. Realize that everything is an experience. Everything is an experience. Every place. It's like, oh, we say, oh, we're gonna go on an adventure just for, experience nature, experience the river. The same as how you can get up and go somewhere and experience it. It's the same with life. You have ownership of no one. Even if you're in a relationship, your parents have no ownership of you. Your family members have no ownership of you. No one has ownership of you. No one. A certain type of home, a certain type of family, and then you're like, why am I in this family? You're not in the family for any reason. You're not in. You never get that type of family for a reason. It's an experience. And the reason why it's an experience because before you came here, there was a promise. You knew your purpose. And you always knew your purpose as a child. You being a child is your truest form. And it'll always be your true form. Nothing ever can beat that. But because as we grow, labels start being put on us, and we start to like believe certain things. We start to like accept certain things when we weren't supposed to accept them. We were supposed to be grounded and rooted into who we are. But because the world, first of all, the world doesn't want you to know dumb. Let's just put that over there. But anyways, continue. But because the world wants your energy, doesn't want you to be in alignment with who you truly are and what you can become, they send give us phone, give us computers, TV, you know, entertain us with a lot of things that it's just to keep the mind occupied. It's just for you to be stimulated to the point where all you want to do is sleep, eat and sleep. You didn't want to go to 9 to 5, you didn't want to go do whatever. You just want to eat and sleep. Yeah. And you just get waste where, and you think that, yeah, you get me? But back to what I say. Everything is an experience. Everyone is an experience. Nothing in this life happens to you just to happen. Let me say it again. Nothing in this life happens to you just to happen. No, it doesn't. Why I said that? Because when you realize you don't have control over anything, anyone, you don't own anything or anyone, even if you're in a relationship, you do not own that person, and that person do not own you. Even if you say together forever, it's not all the time it will work out, because some of these people are here to have an experience. Some of these people are here to experience something. And when I say experience, I mean they'll be here to let you know how a snake can come around you, and the snake is an experience for you to know that this is what you look out for when you have a snake around you. Which then, knowing how the snakes move, how they shed, how they move within the grass, you have a tool. That's a tool that has been given to you by the universe. So that is one tool down. When then you have experienced someone that is giving, like they are always giving you something, always making sure that you're okay, then you have given the tool of receiving love, receiving abundance from others, receiving um yeah, just receiving, right? You have a tool to understand, to be grateful for good people. You get me? Then when you meet someone that comes to you and say, you know how you behave, you don't need to behave like that. There's another way for you to behave. That tool is for you to look within your character, how you behave, how you say certain things, how you behave in this way in the past has to be fixed now in the present, that now you are aware of what is going on, because you might not even might this tool that this person is giving you is going to be needed for the future. So how I used to talk, the snake that I knew, I'm going to experience it again in the future. But now when the future arrives, I have the tools to find the snake, know how to behave, and know how to appreciate those who are loving unto me. And understand what I say? So when I tell you, say everybody comes in your life to everybody that comes in your life is an experience. It's a blessing and a lesson. And a lesson doesn't mean bad, and a blessing doesn't mean good. Let me get that out there. A lesson doesn't mean the person did you bad or did negative things onto you. No, a lesson can be good, can be bad. And when I say good and when I say bad, a person can come and hurt you, but also a person can come and teach you, like come into your life and just teach you, open up your eyes to a lot of things, let you see yourself in a different light. You get me? And a blesser, it can be good and it can be bad. Cause sometimes like no, if I get hurt, it has to be a reason. And that reason would be I planted a lot of bad seed in my past. So now I'm reaping whatever I'm sow, me I reap it now. You get me? So a blessing is good and bad, and a lesson is good and bad, but everyone is an experience. Even if you find the love of your life, that is also an experience. The experience of love, the experience of just receiving someone that is able to be there for you, able to nurture you and care for you. You get me? To grow with, all of that. So the cycle of life is a hell of a thing, you know. And when I say everybody's an experience, you will meet a specific type of people. Like it can be in our friends, it can be in our relationships, it can be like just random people where you are just gravitated to these like type of people. Like they have like a certain type of background. So for instance, you're constantly meeting someone that's, self-damaging to themselves, and whenever you're around them, it's like you bring solitude, you let them see themselves in a different light. So now this person is now experiencing a different light of themselves, is knowing that, hey, I understand that you're self-destructive, but let you see what I see. That's what the universe does right there, is to let the person that is self-destructive see themselves in a different light, to see themselves moving and operating better than they did before, right? But that person that is letting the self-destructive person see themselves in a different light cannot stay forever, because they need to move on. Because after the universe has showed you yourself in a different light, you get me? You now have to be able to love and to go back to the inner child. So you will be able to love yourself in that light. You get me? You understand? So you will constantly get a certain type of people. I feel like I've always gotten people that their belief system needs to be shaked up. Like everyone that I've met and like got close to, I'm always like, that's not right. You need to change that. But I never really understand it. And my mother used to always say to me like, why you always talk to them people here? Well, like them always like them have baggage, and I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to talk to them. I feel like the universe wants me to talk to them, because when I really do think about it, even after my experience with them has come to an end, and I do like we end up like reach out to back with each other, it's always like, you know, what I used to do before I don't do it anymore. Like, I've changed, where you used to say to me, I kind of don't understand what you were trying to say. And I'm like, they just needed someone to let them see something different. You get me? And I'm always for it. I'm always teaching and letting people understand all of that. But the cycle of life is where you it's a reflection of yourself. Everyone that you meet is a reflection, is either your past self, present, and future, right? Because I felt like since my awakening, I've met myself like 2 times, 2 goddamn times. And in that, I realized that my past self, no one set boundaries for me. No one, like, even if they told me something was wrong, they still agreed with it. No, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, yeah, you can't play with me like that anymore. So like as soon as I see myself, I'm like, I don't just cut off somebody, I'll be like, I'm seeing myself right now. I'm going to tell you what I needed to hear because no one was able to tell me that because they weren't, they didn't know any better and they didn't see it as how I'm seeing it now. And I'll just sit with myself and be like, sit with the person, which is myself, and be like, hey, this is what's going on, but you have to find yourself. And in finding yourself, like, um, this is how you can do it, and I can help, I can give you the tools that you need, but you'll have to do the work. I can't force you to do it. But I'm not going to stay around to see you do it. You get me? I'm going to cut you off because if I stay, I'm leaving myself. I'm going to abandon who I'm trying to become to be there for you. I cannot do that. But I can give you the tools and I can stand beside you. But I cannot push you to do what you need to do. You get me? That's how I really look at people now. Because as I said, no one set boundaries with me. No one really like, yo, you're not supposed to do that. No one like correct my wrongs. No one let me know that, hey, this is, like no one did that. So no, when I see people or meet someone and I see myself, like exactly myself in them, when I tell you I'm going to try. But you can't force the dog. What you say? You can't force the cat for drink milk. The horse, the cat, the cow. Can't force him for drink the milk. Healing. I feel as if healing is a tree. Healing, to heal, you have to go to the tree. Once I go to the tree, let's just give a reference. Like when you were a child and you were in the garden playing and you see the tree. Like a little tree growing, and then wait till you pick off the branches. Sorry, you pick off the leaves, then you pick off the branches, and you pick off the stem. After picking off the stem, then you dig around the root, then to drag out the root. That's how you heal. You have to find the leaf. You have to find the tree first. So let's use a personal experience of mine as a way to heal with the tree, right? So one, the whole tree would have tree humble clot would have been how I felt knowing that my dad died when I was young, right? So the leaf would have been, I felt as if certain situation that happened wouldn't have if he was here, right? So that's me picking off the leaf because I've already addressed it. You get me? Now let's go to the branch and a break take off the branch. I can say I held resentment against certain adults that were my dad's friend, family member, or whatever they want to be, right? Now let's go to the stem. I held anger, betrayal, feeling unloved by everything that was going on because I'm like, why aren't you here, sir? And then that's just me taking off the stem. No, I'm digging around the tree, digging around the roots because to get the roots out because I'm like, do I need to feel this way? Or just because I was a child and I wasn't in understanding of what was going on, why I was thinking this way? You get me? No, for me to take out the root is for me to accept, forgive, and release. And because I was able to do that, I was then able to get to the root as to why I think the way I think, and as to why I had those thoughts lingering as a child. You get me? And then I ended up realizing that I didn't need to hold resentment against my father for leaving. He had to go for a reason. He had to go for me to be strong. You get me? For me not to be dependent on others because my dad leaving, like, if you, I do not care who you be, I do not mind you leaving. Like, that's just how I was. You get me? Even if I was hurting, I wouldn't care if you wanted to leave me on the gravel. Leave. The doors to the left. To the left. Leave. Like, I didn't care. But then that also made me feel like I was like being cold towards myself and others. So it's really not just, oh, forgiving and releasing, but it's also just going deep within to realize how much one thing can affect 100 areas in your life. Like, one trauma can point to a, more than 10 behaviors in the human being, in the human body, in the human character. Like, so when I say to heal, it's not just the, oh, I'm gonna forgive you and that's it. No, 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 no. You have to really sit with yourself. You have to really go within. You have to really like let go of everything. You get me? So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching Lucky Talk That Talk. I really do hope you guys enjoy. And I'm gonna reach to 100 subscribers or 50, but I'm not gonna limit myself because Granny said not gonna limit yourself. Don't make them tell you what you can do. The pressures in life make it stronger. Better have to grow with a hunger. Remember, boop, boop. One Ragging King, I never Pagan King. Anyways, so remember to share, like, and subscribe. And follow the social. They'll be in the description below. Thank you. Thank you. And please subscribe. And not subscribe. And ladies, subscribe, call the pussy tight. Thank you. Bye.